What if Deku was Scarecrow? Two-shot what if, part 2. Now there is gore and violence, description of blood, so if you don't like that, you've been warned. We start this off with Fred leaving the police station with a button. As he starts to tap the button, as he just hits on his wrist, as he turns around, as he hits the thing, the whole building blows up. Man, stupid delayed explosions. It's no fun, it ruins the moment. But anyway, I do need to call Scarecrow to see how he's doing, as he's walking away from the blown up and burning police station. As he calls, as we go to, Scarecrow Deku, as he's currently just wrapping up a student. As he answers the phone, yes. I'm on my way over. Good. Did you at least do something to lead them astray? Yeah, I blew up the police station. That should keep them busy for a while. Good work. As he looks back and sees, basically, seemingly, her invisible girl's face covered with blood. I just finished a student off. And almost all the students have been taken care of. As they feel something. Two of the fears I brought to the real world just got destroyed. As he checks the lights, as 2 more students were knocked off. That leaves Shoto, Uraraka, Bakugo, and Kirishima. 4 students left. Get here, I need you to deal with them. I do not want to release the other fears I have. You know very well a few of them are not controllable. Don't worry, I'll be there within the hour. Good. No delays. You know connection is only connected through the remote phones I gave out. Yes, I know. Otherwise, this is technically a dead zone for connection. Good. Now get here as soon as possible. I need you to help me with the plan. I have the other Scarecrow loading up the plane as we speak. Don't worry, Scarecrow boss. I'll be there momentarily. Good. As he ends the call, as he looks over at Invisible Girl, you lasted quite a while, little lady. But unfortunately, it's time for us to wrap it up. I thought you said I was already dead. Yeah, you are. As he simply decapitates her as her bloody head falls over towards the furnace as it rolls in. As he looks at, technically her head evaporating. You're now out of here. Time for the next. As he would go to look on the footage, Bakugo took out one of them. The other group took out the other. Your top students are really a pain, Eraserhead. And they're the only 4 left. You won't defeat them, they're the top of my class. They may be strong, but don't underestimate what I have in store. The rest of your students didn't last too long against my creatures of fear. They won't last long either. They may have been able to defeat some, but there are plenty others that are well in their right to defeat them. Crow, come to your master. As a person would form in crows in the room, as you would make a crow person. This is Crow, a fear of crows, so I just call him Crow. He can disperse himself in crows and make them lethal weapons. Let's see if I can get a kill with him. What is my objective, Master? As he looks over at him, simple. Take care of the weakest link of the last remaining students. that was brought here, as he looks over at Eraserhead. Uchako Uraraka. Don't you dare! Very well, sir, I will get on it. Let me go. Not a chance. I've been erasing your quark. Why has he disappeared? You've been erasing my quark, I will admit that. But I've already brought him to reality, so he must be defeated before him to go back to his realm. So, you don't affect him or his powers. Take that, Eraserhead. As he gets up in his face. You're just lucky I'm letting you live to this point. As the other Scarecrow gets into the room, as he would just wave. As the Scarecrow would grab Eraserhead's chair. What are you doing? Simply just moving. As he drags him out of the room, as he's wondering where he's being taken to. As, well, Uraraka and Shoto run towards through the cornfield as the crows start flying. Come on, Ochako, we need to get out of here. I know, but we're lost here. As they would see lights pull in, as they are seemingly found the road, as they would run out and they would see a police car. Hey, over there, there's a police car. We're able to call backup. As they go over, as Shoto signals over to the police officer, as Fred was getting out of the car, he sees, well, Shoto, but obviously Shoto has not seen that her friend just got grabbed and is now on top of the little, well, shed area near them. Sir, what seems to be the problem, kid? As Fred acts like a police officer. Listen, my friends have been kidnapped. A villain has kidnapped us here. We need to call for backup, as then Utrako's body would seemingly fall to the ground, right in front of them. As they both gasp. We need to call for, as soon as he turned his head towards the police officer, the gun was already to his forehead. Sorry, kid. As he would pull the trigger, as Shoto falls over. Whew. First of all, you should have checked to make sure I was a real cop. I've been faking it for months, so my uniform is pretty legit, I know. As then seemingly crows come towards him, as Fred simply just shoots every single crow, as the crow man falls down to the ground full of holes. As he had walked to his head, no, I work for, as he simply shoots him in the head. Sorry, Crow Man, I know you work for Scarecrow, but you trying to come and kill me was your biggest mistake. You should really fear me. After all, you fears are nothing compared to people that embody them. Like Scarecrow and I. As then, his phone starts to ring again. Yeah. Did you take care of the students? Yeah, as he kicks Shoto's corpse. I simply just got rid of Shoto Todoroki. Put a bullet through his head. As he looks at both the students. What about Ochako? Your little bird man took care of her. As he examines the body. Several stab wounds, assumingly through by crow beaks. A missing eye. Basically half broken arm. And it looks like she was gutted before being fell out of the air. I guess your little, well, Birdman did more than what you sent him to. We have 2 more students to get rid of. I want you to bring me Bakugo Katsuki alive. Fine. What should I do about his partner? You can kill the other student, I don't care. As Shoto Aizawa seems to be just sitting in the middle of an airfield. As the Scarecrow with the chain and flaming scythe on the end is just watching him. Are you gonna talk? As he just simply stares at him. As Scarecrow Deku would come out. No, he doesn't talk very much, or at all. But just knowing you got 2 students left. Listen, we will defeat you. There's no way you can... Again with you, you're going to defeat us. You're gonna stop us. Listen. As he gets up and close in Eraserhead's face, you cannot defeat fear. Fear is a concept non-negotiable. Nothing defeats fear. Literally nothing. I should know. I tried everything to get rid of this blasted quark of mine, until I realized that I need to accept it, that it was a part of me and I was a part of fear itself. I saw every fear that I came across a person. You know what that does to a person to see everyone's fear when they can't even see their own? For the most part, I couldn't see it until they felt scared. But there were times I could see them all. And they would taunt me, as the classmates of my old taunted me for my quark. The person that threw you in the fire was Bakugo, wasn't it? As he takes off the mask, revealing his hair and his burnt face. Yes, he did this to me. As like a large bit of his face is burned. He threw me in that fire. If it wasn't for my fear, standing in front of you now, I would have been dead. As he looks over at the one with the flaming scythe chain. That thing saved you? Yes. And since then I've embraced fear. Become fear. I'm afraid of literally nothing. You know, everyone's afraid of something. You just don't know what it is anymore. As Deku's done with this, as he simply punches Aizawa in the face. Ugh. As he would spit out a little bit of blood. As he throw another right hook, hit him in the face. That's enough out of you. As he puts the mask back on. As Kirishima and Bakugo reach near the airfield. Hey, look here, there's a straight path. As they reach out of the, cornfield and onto seemingly like an airfield. Where are we? As then they would see a cop car simply rolling through. As Kirishima wants to go over, and as Bakugo stops, as the cop car stops, as a person with a Scarecrow mask comes out. That's obviously one of them. As he goes to the back and gets rid of the 2 bodies of, Ochako and Shoto out of the back of the car. They got Shoto and Uraka. They're already dead, look. As they look over and see Eraserhead in the airfield, as they see 2 more. They have Aizawa. We need to save him. We gotta wait. As then they notice the guy going towards the plane. We take out that one, then we go after those 2. But they could kill Aizawa. We can't have the other guy backing them up. As the guy would get on the plane, as he stops, he quickly turns around as they're hiding behind the police car. As he looks around before entering the plane and closing it. As Bakugo and Kirishima would make their way towards the plane. As Kirishima would be walking up the steps, the door would suddenly fling open and Kirishima would get shot in the chest 2 times, falling on Bakugo. You thought you could sneak up on me. You really thought. I've dealt with people like this several times, trying to think they could take out me to escape this place. As Bakugo is holding an injured Kirishima, as he was shot in the stomach twice. As he aims to shoot again, as Kirishima hards, deflecting the bullets. Ooh, a hardening quark. As Bakugo is about to throw an explosion, suddenly the chain would wrap around his arm and he gets pulled down the, runway a bit. As then one of the chain Scarecrow steps on both of his hands. As Kirishima tries to get up to help, but simply gets kicked in the face by Fred. As Scarecrow Deku would look, "Oh, looky, look who we have here. Bakugo Katsuki. Who are you? Is that any way to treat your old friend? Someone you murdered. I don't know you. Maybe this will jog your memory," as he takes off his mask, revealing his face. "Deku? Yes. You thought you got rid of me in this fire in this very place. But you were wrong. I survived. And now this is going to be your downfall." As he's struggling, as Eraserhead tries to escape. But first, as he grabs a scythe and simply just stabs Eraserhead in the chest. Ah! Watch him bleed. As he starts bleeding from the chest, as he still tries to get out of the, ropes he's tied up in. "But I know a way to break you more. I waited exactly until you're close to your graduation. To kidnap you, bring you here, just to watch that silly hero dream of yours crumble. Your classmates are all but gone." As then gunshots are heard. As we look over and see that Fred had like a grenade launcher and just blew up Kirishima. Woo! He went flying everywhere. As Bakugo sees this, "You're now the only one left." As Eraserhead finally manages to break, the rope as he tries to go after Deku, as he's focused on Bakugo, as then he gets shot in the head. "Thank you, Fred." "No problem, boss. He let his eyes off me. That was his biggest mistake." As Bakugo looks over and sees Eraserhead's body just falls to the ground, as his eyes are lifeless, like his soul had just left his body. Ooh. Poor him, but that's nothing right now to compare to your situation, Bakugo. But I'll leave you alive. As he raises a sickle, but permanently disabled for now, as he cuts off both of Bakugo's hands, as he screams, "How does it feel to be useless?" As he would scream, as the other Scarecrow would let him go, as Bakugo is just in shock. "So, you gonna kill him?" "Yes, but first we leave." As they get on a plane, as the plane takes off. "So how are you going to kill him? You're just leaving him on the airfield." 3, 2, as then a flame apparently sparks through the very same farm where all the fear gas was, as it ignites the entire farm on fire, including the airfield, where Bakugo is at. If he survives that, then that's a miracle that I don't know what to do with. Now, how are the bombs? As Fred looks back, "Oh, you mean the fear toxin bombs that I put together for you? Ah, they're ready and locked to go. We can drop them in every major city within Japan. Who's first? Why don't we go to UA?" As Fred smiles, "On it, setting course to UA. I can't wait to see these things in action." "Don't worry, Fred. As promised, you have a front row seat." Which I appreciate. As the other Scarecrow of Deku would just tap his shoulder. "What is it?" As he'd point outside. "You gotta be kidding me." "Put this plane in maximum overdrive. We got some company on its way." "What is it?" "Few helicopters heading to that exact site. Apparently they got more intel than you, supposedly gave them. How did they narrow it down so quickly? I don't know. I made sure to cover all my tracks. Just get us out of the line of sight. You do that, we're clear from any investigation. And them finding this plane suspicious. Hopefully Bakugo is dead by now, though. Bakugo is dead, by the way. As they come over near UA, as they're flying over it, alright, ready to drop the first payload? Drop it. As he drops the first payload, as it would hit the ground, releasing a large amount of fear gas, as people would be going crazy. As they're watching this, as people are fighting each other, thinking they're their fears. Next city, as they would go throughout Japan, dropping these fear bombs. As people would be fighting each other, it's basically pure madness. As fire is basically dwelling in Deku's eyes as he's watching this event. Alright, that was the last one. So now what? We rule Japan. As he smiles, grab your parachute. Why? Take a look where we're flying into. As Deku jumped out with the other Scarecrow, as Fred quickly grabbed his parachute and just jumped out right before the plane hit the building, causing him to send him forward towards another. He luckily pulls his parachute before landing in the broken window that the other plane shrapnel went into. As he ducks and rolls into the building, whoo! As then he noticed someone rushing at him with a knife that has been affected by the fear toxin. He simply grabs the knife and throws her out the window as she falls to her demise. As he looks down, note, no, you will not survive a 6-story fall. Well, where did they land? As we just see Scarecrow, Deku, and his Scarecrow walking through as everyone's tearing each other apart. This is fear. This is what I call fear. Enjoy. You've been blessed. Don't let the fear be a thing. Join it. Be one with fear. As, again, people would be shocked and all that, but the few people that would go into insanity would understand what Deku means. As then Japan would be thrown into madness for the rest of its days. And that is the end of What If Deku Was Scarecrow Halloween Special, Part 2 of the 2-shot What If.